Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I'm here to do a flip through of my design team project for Medieval Mirage. And so this is the one that we're working on that's got the manila file folder cover that's all been collaged, and then I sprayed it with mica powder so it's a little shimmery. I don't know if you guys can really tell. Yeah, I guess you can. And I was going to do other things on the cover, but I really loved the cover the way it came out, so I didn't want to like cover this up and this up. So anyway, I just added a few things, and I'll show you in just a minute. It measures 9 by 6, which is pretty much where I like to have my journals. And I know I said I was going to do a traveler's notebook, but then when I realized I could print her papers, this set, in the regular size or the 9 by 6 size, I just went with that because that's my favorite size to do. So this is that fabric that I stamped the other day, and it wraps around a few times. So there's lots of it, so you know, it could be used for other things too if wanted. And this one's going to Lorette. She has claimed it. So it is spoken for. But I didn't want to cover this, and I didn't want to cover the rose and this rose and all that, so I just added a piece of lace on the spine, and then I also added this little kind of like cluster that I made. There's some book page and some avocado dyed paper that I spritzed and stamped with that Tim Holtz script stamp that I have, and put a little lace stitched around it. And that lovely image is from Medieval Mirage, a bouquet of elegant eras. Sorry, I struggle with that for some reason. And then on the back you can see more of this lace, and this is the same lace that's in my Digi. Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank on that. They'll all be in the description box below. I apologize, I just drew a blank there. But anyway, that's that same lace. So that's that, and then you open it, and there is a pocket here. And I added a journaling card that I did spray with the mica powder. And then that's the back, and you could still write on that. And I did add, I don't know if you guys saw, I added this little picture down there. So anyway. And this is that, a bouquet of elegant eras. And so it's all different ladies from all different eras, so that's kind of fun. And this is the same Digi from Medieval Mirage, some tea-dyed paper of mine, and then I added just that tassel-y lace there. And this is, again, Medieval Mirage. And then I have this pocket with this little journaling card in it, and music paper, and Medieval Mirage, Medieval Mirage. This is from my Spill and Tea Digi. This is from Tailor Made Journals. And again, I'll have all the kits in the description box. And Medieval Mirage, and some avocado dyed paper. And I believe this was from Eva. Thank you, Eva. And then I just did this little paper clip. I just bent the paper clip and added the little charm there. So that comes off. Added the little bow and the rose and that, but this is in the Bouquet of Elegant Eras Digi. So is this image. Then I backed it with avocado dyed paper. So that just slides in there. Most of the Medieval Mirage in here, there's a few things that are from different kits of hers, but most of it is from a Bouquet of Elegant Eras, and I have the kit and the add-on. So if you got those, you could easily make a very nice journal, and a larger one than this. I just, this is just the size that I chose to do, but you could definitely do a larger one. That's from that. And this. And this is that little flip that we made together. And then the two little cards in there to write on. And this is from my Ada, or not my Ada. Those images are in my Ada Digi, but the smaller ad size ones are in my price tags Digi. And this slides out, and it's a long tag, and those are in Bouquet of Elegant Eras. This one is from her Feminine Finesse Digi, the one with the lace and the writing there. This is Digital Curio, tea-dyed, Tailor Made Journals. This is from Feminine Finesse. So there's a few that are from somewhere else, but for the most part it's that one. It's just a little lace cluster that I put there with a vintage pink button. And then on the, thought I glued that down. I want to make sure that stays that way. And then on the back of this page, because it was just a magazine, an old magazine page, I just added one of her, a piece of her paper from the Digi so that you can write on it instead of having the other writing. And some avocado dye, Bouquet of Elegant Eras, Feminine Finesse, Digital Curio. And this is avocado dye again, and I added this lace under this pocket that we made, and just did a cameo here, and on a bold pin with some beads. And there's our postcards, and this slides off, and you've got the 3 postcards that I backed with some of Joff's paper as well. So those are all ready to be written on, and they just slide into this belly band that I turned into, you know, a belly band for postcards. That slides in there, and she can peek out. And then we have Digital Curio and Medieval Mirage, tea dye. There's the center of the signature. And tea dye. So there's still lots of writing room. Lace on the page here, and there's a little bold pin with an old vintage button, a bead, and lace and fabric. And then we made this one together. This was our faux window envelope. Using, these are from the kit, a Bouquet of Elegant Eras. Joff has these, so you just cut that out and you can add a window or put it over a window envelope just to make it easier to cover the window envelope. And then I just added a piece of the paper from the Digi, and I sprayed it with mica powder so it's all glittery and sparkly, and then on it you can just write on the inside. I sprayed this too with the mica powder mix. Now it just tucks behind, then this opens, and there's a long tag in here to write on, and then you could even write here. Just a little cluster there with some lace and one of the stamps from Joff's kit, and then that's just a washi sticker there, and it's tied with some sari silk so it's not flapping open on you. Can never get bows right when I try to do that. Avocado dye, Medieval Mirage, Digital Curio, Feminine Finesse from Medieval Mirage, doily, and avocado dye. And then see, this is the other side of that magazine paper, and then there's writing here too that you could cover if you wanted to. Beautiful papers, like you just don't even want to cover them because they're just so pretty. And then there's another little tuck here. This was actually another one of those window envelopes, but I just put one of Joff's oval decorations there that are in the Digi, and then added a couple of her journaling cards into that pocket. And this beautiful peacock here. And there's tailor-made journals, and then this pocket is in the Digi with the flaps that you can fold down, so there's a little extra room in there. And then this is just like a little pad of some of the papers from this journal that can either just be written on or torn out and used, or however Laurette would like to use them. And this is my Spill and Tea Digi there. And then there's a lace corner pocket, and in here we have a journaling card, another one of these little books. I added a tiny belly band to it, and then this little piece of paper tucked in there. I think one of these was actually supposed to go in this other pocket up here. That's why I kind of think I paused when we got to it, because I was like, wasn't there supposed to be something else in there? If I can find it again. There. This lace pocket was supposed to have another one of these. Like that. Okay, and then these go in here in the lace pocket, and this is a pretty good size, you know, pocket. You could tuck other things up in there as well. And it also has a little bulb pin with a a little charm on it, rhinestone charm. And this is for my spillin' tea, and that's Medieval Mirage tea dye. And nice place to write. And then there's another journaling card on this end that tucks in here, and I've signed it. I love this because you can see her there too. And it's all been sprayed inside as well with the mica powder, so it's a little shimmery, shiny. Take that in a little further. Alright, so that is her, and she is all ready to go. So I will be listing her on my shop, Lorette, so that you can get her. I just realized I missed this spot with the stamp, so I'll stamp that, and then I will have it all ready. I don't know how I didn't realize that before. I'm going to take a drink of my soda here. Yeah, that was silly of me. And then I have a 2 envelope project we're going to do. So get ready for, you know, antics and mayhem, since I always seem to glue my envelopes together or something. So the first thing, oh yes, I did this because, do you remember in the 90s, 80s, 90s, we had those printers that you had to run the paper on the track with the holes? Well, now I'm wishing I had that paper. I have no more of it anymore because, of course, we got rid of all of it when we got rid of those printers. So, I was watching Eva from Bohemian Crafting, and I was like, man, I just really wish I had some of that because she was using it. So I decided to try to make my own, and what I did to make that, I didn't tear both sides on that one, but I'm going to on this one. And I actually want this one just a touch wider than that one, I think. So I'm going to put it on the line. And then I think if I do it at, well, that one's probably about a ½ inch, isn't it? Yeah, so it probably needs to be a little bit more than ½ inch. I just want to sort of get it straight if possible. As straight as I can anyway. And then I tried with this one to, this one's actually maybe a better size. Oh well, we'll play with it and see what we get. To just stamp, or you know, punch the holes, because I have this little hole punch, and I'm not even sure what size this one is. But it's not the standard size, it's a little smaller. And it doesn't say what size it is, but just use, you know, whatever punch you have that seems a little bit smaller. And then I just sort of went along, try to center it a little here. Which I'm not doing a great job of, but and then I just kind of went along at the ½ inch mark and made little marks. And I know this seems silly, like why can't you just punch it? But they were all crookedy and weird when I tried to do it that way. So I did make little marks with my pencil, and that seemed to give me a much better effect. Helps if you don't push too hard on your pencil. This just helps keep it in a straight line. because it's very easy to, you think, oh, I'll just punch right along. Doesn't work. Because even getting these straight is a little tricky. But then you just go down the line and punch away, trying to get them as centered as possible. So anyway, I won't, you get the idea. I'll just use this one today if I want to use it, but kind of gives you that effect of that roller paper. They were white, but we've got a colored one instead. So I've got 2 standard envelopes, and these are like the small business size envelopes that are 6.5 by 3 3/4. So that's the size. And we're actually going to, I'm trying to think how I want to do that. This blue part will get covered up. So I'm trying to decide if I want it to be top or side loading. I think I'll do side, so I'm going to cut a small slit off the side. And I used to do these when I was doing scrapbooking, and these, somebody else may have done these too, but I'm just remembering from when I was making mini albums and things. So this very well may not be the first time you've seen this. So you can see I'm just cutting a sliver off so that I can, you know, use this as my opening for my pocket, because it's going to be covered the other direction, maybe. So see. Okay. Then the next thing we're going to do is glue our 2 flaps together this way so that they stick out into the middle. Hope you're all having a good day. Never even said that because, you know, I get in my mode. We're having a pretty good day, except that my son called me yesterday because I was going to do like a flip through of that journal yesterday, but he got a flat tire at school. Well, probably not at school. He drove over a very large roofing staple and it went into the sidewall of the tire, which was a little bit interesting. And yeah, so he had a flat tire when he got out of school, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll just run over with the air compressor thing that we have and pump it up, and then we'll go to the tire store. Well, when I got to the school, it was entirely flat, and like a dingling, I forgot the little attachment that goes onto the air compressor. And then one of my son's friends, thank goodness, was helping him. He pulled the staple out, so we knew, you know, it's not going to hold air even if I go get that thing. So then we decided we'd just take it off and put the spare on. Well, that was a major undertaking, and I'm so thankful that my son's friend was there. He works at an auto body shop, so he knows a lot about that kind of stuff, and he basically changed the tire for us because we're all clueless. So I went and got him a gift card today. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting off the pointed part of the envelope, and I'm just leaving about an inch left on the flap there. But yeah, we're all hopeless when it comes to that kind of thing. So I'm very pleased that he was there, because I would have had to, you know, call someplace to come, and that would have just taken even longer. This isn't very even, but these envelopes, you know, they're not very even, so we're just gonna leave it at that. I'm going to use my new Digi. These are not. Those are Dreaming Heart Company. Rest in numbers here, so we're going to use some of these images. And I'm going to cover this part right here and try not to glue my envelope shut. But you know, you've seen me do it loads of times. And I always mess that up, so we'll see if I can do it. Move those rulers out of the way. Use this one to tear off the edge. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing good. That was not fun. It was really hot yesterday. And like I said, it was cooler earlier in the week, so it felt just stifling out there for some reason while we were trying to deal with the tire. Of course, because that's the way it goes. Sorry, I don't know what, I've got a frog in my throat. I just want this, I kind of missed it when I did it the first time. Okay, that's straighter. And I just want this much of it. So yeah, that was so kind of him, because he was black from head to toe, like his feet, everything, because we were in a parking lot. So he was just covered in, you know, just the oils and whatever on the ground. Very grateful for his help. I think I might end up putting a little of this old book page just in here, because that blue, you know, you still might see like a little bit of it, and I really don't want to see it at all. So I think I am gonna just put a bit of this here and there to try to cover it up. Let's see. It doesn't have to be anything perfect. I just don't want to have all that there. I mean, a lot of it will get covered, but you know what I'm talking about, where the paper doesn't quite meet or whatever, it'll have that sort of blue marks. So if you have envelopes that don't have that, you might want to use those, but if you are going to use these standard size, you could do this with any envelopes, though you do not have to have these kind of envelopes. It's just, that's what I had, so that's what I'm using. I don't really need to trim this, but I will. But you can do this with any envelope. Okay, that'll be better, and I'll ink around here so that that part won't matter. Is that? Yep. And that's the other thing, sometimes you have to fix the envelopes and spots just because, you know, they don't get glued at every single little corner. Oh my gosh. Okay, Amy. Yeah, but I don't know why we're having so much trouble. That's the second flat tire that he's gotten in a very short span of time. I mean, like I said, they're doing construction here, so, but we're not like directly next door to any houses being built, so I don't know how we're picking up so much of that kind of stuff. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. Okay, so this time what I'm going to do is glue the envelope. And I'm just going to follow pretty close to this side, but the other side I'll probably stay back just a little because I know that my paper doesn't totally meet the edge, right? And then if we need to, we can fix it. Bless you. There's our sneeze from Theron for the day. Cat's been pretty quiet lately. She was hollering at us right after lunch. when we all came back upstairs. Kids are doing homework like crazy. It's like much more than they normally have. I mean, I know they're supposed to be at school all day, so, but it's, wow, it's no joke. So, and you can see I didn't go all the way into the fold there. I came out a little bit too because my piece of paper isn't as big as that. So we're going to do this. So hopefully I got it. Yeah. I love this, how this came out. I was just super excited making it. It was just really fun to make. And it's just really different. I don't do a lot of very masculine, I guess you'd call it, digis. I don't know why. I just always end up doing, you know, roses and like that kind of stuff. And this too, I may have to put some book page in there because I just don't like that blue. I mean, I guess it's not horrible with the numbers. Maybe if I ink it. Just doesn't really go because it's just so blue. I need to fix the top up there. But yeah, thank goodness that kid knew how to change tires. I mean, like, I get the concept, but making it happen is another thing, like getting the bolts off and just all of it. Jacking the car up. Took 3 jacks to lift his. He's got a Ford Explorer. Because the 2 jacks that the boys had in their cars weren't that great. And then, so we used mine too, and then we got it lifted. But yeah, that just wasn't fun. I'll use this guy over here. Because then you could do a little writing on that part. I'm getting a mess here. I think these papers would go pretty good with some of like the Tim Holtz paper dolls or, you know, other Tim Holtz items. Just they sort of have a little bit of that look. I mean, clearly not even as cool as his, but they just go well with it. I think okay, we're going to add the book page again like we did on crazy piece here. That'll just help strengthen that too, so that's not a bad thing. I know it's upside down, but I want this thicker part over here. Yeah, so I told my son to park his car in our driveway. Let's see if that helps at all. I don't know that that'll do anything, but I don't know where he's picking them all up at. Last time it was a screw, and this time it was a roofing staple. The thing was huge. And it ruined the tire because it went in the sidewall, so we had to get a new tire too. Of course. Because we wouldn't have it any other way, right? So luckily they had a used one. That is at least helpful with cost. I need to make sure these are all glued down really well because I don't want whatever we put in these pockets to be getting caught up on that. Make sure we have it going the right direction. Okay, where did I put my brain? Yeah, I just had to play with these because I haven't played with them yet. I really like them. I love that old planning book I got. That was just a fluke kind of thing. I don't even know why exactly I bought it from the antique store. I was just like, oh, it's got just cool charts, and you know, I thought like it might be kind of cool, but it had all these neat pictures in it, and it's all from, is it 1906? I think 1904, 1906, something like that. So they're really cool images. To keep it this way or I will glue it on upside down. Okay, so it worked pretty good to put the glue on so that I don't glue the envelope shut. And I've done both things, upside down and glued the envelope shut, so that isn't an unusual thing for me. And then we're going to go right across there again and hope that we hit some of it. Okay. Oh, gonna do it yet. Okay, let's try to get some of this in here at least. Oh god, I could scoot it this way a little bit more. Okay, that's all glued down good. And then with this center part, you can do a few different things. You can either just add another page on here, or you can like split it and do like a smaller section and a larger section, and we're going to split it. So let's see, I think I want to do one a little bit smaller. And then you can make these into like little pockets too. So just like when you're doing a, you know, folder or whatever, and you don't want the pockets to meet or cause too much bulk, we're just cutting a wedge out. So that, because we're going to add another pocket onto this, you don't want them directly bumping into each other, if you know what I'm saying. So then we're going to cut this too, because I just don't want that in the way. I'm actually going to even go ahead and round these, and I know this seems silly. Well, no, I'm not, because that won't work. I do want them rounded a little bit though, because I really just don't want, I don't want to see any of this in here. I just want to see the outside part once we get it on there. Okay. And we might not get to the outside today, but we'll see where we get. So I'm going to use one of the background ones here. And I need a pencil. I'm just marking there. It's going to go to that edge. I might actually need to make it like a ½ an inch more over, but we'll score it. I should probably figure out how long I need it first so I don't score this whole sheet. You need it to be, it goes out to 3.5, but I'm thinking I'm going to go to 3.25, so that pocket's not going to go like all the way to the end. So let's cut this. I always have this go the wrong direction for me. So I need to cut. Kat's just yelling her head off. Cut there. 3.25. So these are not huge pockets by any stretch of the imagination, right? And then I wanted to score it. I'm going to have a score over here as well because it's going to be, you know, we're going to turn it into like a pocket thing. I can't find the score that goes with that one, so I'll just try to use this. I took it out for some reason. So I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch this way. Instead of the other side. I was going to do the other side. But see, now when I fold this over like this, that's what I want to get. So we're going to need to cut it. I really want those numbers. Okay, we're going to do this different. Because I'd rather have the numbers on the pocket than not. So I'll score it at 1/2 inch again. And I'm just going to measure how big that pocket is. Okay, sorry about that, I'm back. I'm telling you, you do not want to give me math problems of any sort. Okay, so I was forgetting to double it because I'm a ditz. So anyways, you need a piece that is, this is almost 8, like 7 and, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6/8 roughly. And then you're going to score it at 3, just over 3.5, and then 1/2 inch, or a 1/2 inch, not 1/2 inch, but a 1/2 inch like that to make a pocket. So it's going to depend on the size of your envelope, but you're going to put these on here like this. And then this one's total measurement, and they're 3.25 inches long. This one's 5.5 by 3.25, okay? So that one's a little bit easier because it's a little smaller, but it's going to depend on where you cut these. So, you know, it's going to kind of just all depend on your envelopes, where you cut stuff, that whole thing. So you're just making, almost like when we make the coin envelopes, the fold, you need this flap here so that you can end up with sort of a little pouch when it's all done. That's what you're going for. So, sorry, I am not better at that whole thing. I feel like my whole generation, I mean, I know there's exceptions because there's some people that just kind of like get math no matter what, but I feel like we just got completely left out with the whole math situation. And I stunk at math so bad, and they told my dad, well, she's a girl, so she probably will never be good at math. So they put me in like business math instead, so you know I could learn to like balance a checkbook. And I mean, not that those things are bad either, that's fine thing to know how to do. It's just, it's kind of funny how that's how it was handled at that time. So yeah, I just stink at stuff like that. Not that that was even complicated math, but. Alright, so we need to glue these closed. And we're just gonna, you know, put the glue on the little flap here. I put it on the right close to the edge this way and close to the edge this way, and that usually glues it closed just fine. We're not gluing the bottom or anything yet, because we'll get to that when we put it on where we want it. Bless you. Bless you. So this will go right over this. Oh, and another thing that I forgot I needed to do. You have to cut in just a little ways from the top and then a little ways from the bottom. Just take your scissors and cut in this way and up a little, because that way you aren't hanging off the edge with your when you measure it. So this goes like this. And we're gonna put glue all over this flap and a lot right up here at the top, so that whatever tag we stick in, see, I left my glue sitting open too long, it won't, I did not mean to put that much on there, but it won't, oh my gosh, get caught up in there is what I'm trying to say. And then we want to make sure we don't glue it closed too, so we need to be careful of that. Alright, so there's our little flap, and let's put the bone folder down in there just to make sure that it's not sticking too much on that side. And then this side we'll just run a little bead right in there with our art glitter glue, because we don't have to have the, you know, that whole flap stuck to it again, because we want to be able to put a tag or something in there. Okay. So now we just have like a little pouch, right? And we can put a little thumb notch on it. Now let's get this one down. Make sure that doesn't end up sticking together all the way at the bottom like. Okay. So let's do this first. Get this glued closed. And then this. And I kind of am bummed because all the nails are on this side, but we can put something cool on the other side too. And you can still see it when you flip the flap. So I'm going to put glue on this again. Try not to make a total mess. Make sure that sticks really well. And then a little here. Okay, so see, because we had cut that little tiny notch, or you know, wedge, we've got a little bit of space between these, so this allows these to move really nicely and easily. And we're going to do a notch in that, or thumb hole, or whatever you want to call it. And I am going to do both sides, not just one, because you can see it from both sides. I've done these before, and like I said, for a mini album, and you can make like an accordion fold, you know, for one of them, and then it comes out. But that worked better when we were doing like pictures and stuff like that. So for this one, I kind of like the idea of having the 2 pockets instead. Okay, so there's that. Let's get something on the front. I'm going to get rid of this page because I glopped the glue on there. Maybe I could use, where did I put, I wonder if I could use one of these pockets from the kit. Yeah, they're way too big, huh? This one's probably too tall, right? Yeah. Well, we'll do something else then. So these are pockets. Yeah. Alright, we'll just have to make some things that'll fit, but first let's get this covered. Use this piece. Sorry, I need to see how wide that is. And about at those numbers. I just love those nails. I don't know what it is, but I just love them. I think that's my childhood, growing up in an old house in an old town, and you know, it just like becomes part of you or something. The old step. Man, if I still lived there, I could do some very cool pictures. So you just want to think, if you're doing something like this, you maybe don't want the super long, that was the front, super long envelopes, just because they're not going to fit in a journal. So that's really the one thing you need to think about. Or too wide, you know, those really big wide envelopes you probably don't want to do this with. You might attach this one down like that on the back. That would work too. So that we don't have to cover the back, you know, and it's just a good way to put it in the journal, or you could put it in a pocket. Would also work. I think I forgot to ink around that, didn't I? So yeah, I think we'll attach it down to something that will work. I want to use some of this. I love this stuff. I'm just inking it a little bit. Oh, you know what would go really good is that, I wonder if I have one of those paper dolls left with that. There's one guy in particular that would look good. Let's see if I have it. I do have it. He needs a cane. He's missing his cane. They cut his cane off. See, same with this kid. He's cool too. He could look like he was leaning on the wood. Too bad there's not like a nail right there. He might work better just because he needs a cane. Unless, does this match? Oh, it would. He could just be leaning on that, huh? I don't know, I like both of those. I think I just like the kid better for some reason. I thought that's the one I wanted originally, but isn't that funny how you do that? Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's see, numbers. So the thing I thought with these numbers is you can either use them, all of them, or just, you know, like use one of them. That one might be kind of cool. Oh, come on. Well, we're really gonna have it antiqued by the time we get it. And then, let's see, I gotta grab some brads. They are not. I had some little metal ones. I guess I just have the little colored ones. They're like rainbowy, colory ones. But we could use one of these old paper clips. Rusty paper clips. Needs something because of the level that it like hits his face at. Let's just use a little bit of these numbers down here. Okay. Oh, he needs ink. Okay. So let's get these glued down where we want them. So these aren't exactly like the, you know, computer paper ones, but it gives you that feeling anyway. Right. And I've done this with that manila drawing paper that you can get on Amazon, and it really feels just like book page. And put a little bit of glue under where these little flaps are so that hopefully they'll stay down and not stick up all over. Okay, Get this guy glued down, and I'm just using my liquid glue because there's a lot of things like the paper clip and whatever, I don't want it to get knocked off. Put the lid on this. I have that 9 on a thicker paper too than these ones. I think that's why it felt like it was sticking into his face when when I had it behind him. Okay. He can go right about, trying to figure out where I want him. Yeah, I want him about right there. These you definitely, I wouldn't use a glue stick on these, even though that Scotch Crate is really good and it would probably be fine. But I think these could be popped off pretty easy with just a glue stick. Okay, so I think that's where we'll stop today. Tomorrow maybe we'll do some ephemera to go inside of it, and I'll decide whether I want to do the back or if I want to just glue the back down in a journal, which probably is what's going to happen. So yeah, thanks for sticking with me on that whole, you guys are so awesome though, I know that you'll understand. I am not a math person. And I'm just going to be the first to tell you that. So, but yeah, we've got our 2 pockets here and here, and we'll probably need, oh, notch that, and I didn't even think of that. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just notch it from the inside only and put something back here to cover up that blue a little bit. But yeah, we'll work some more on this tomorrow. So thanks for hanging out with me, and we will chat again soon. And Lorette, I'll get that journal listed in my shop. Thank you so much and have an awesome evening. Bye-bye now.